everybody, it's Big E. Welcome to Big E's Auto. So I'm going to do it. Been a while since I did a video. I'm trying to open the hood on the truck here. Can't do it one-handed. I thought I could. Been a while since I did a video. Hang on here. Here, I think I got it. Yep, there we go. Been a while since I did a video, so I'm doing an overview video of a project I just did. And they're not that exciting because it's already done. But I never did it before, and it looked like it was a bitch, and it was every word of bitch this job was. But I want to do an overview to help you guys out. So we have, obviously, let me turn on a light here. We have the 7.3 in my truck here. So I don't know if you can see it down in there, but the pedestal, that's the new one. My pedestal was leaking oil like a sieve, especially when I was pulling the trailer. Right where you can see where the core of the turbocharger bolts to the actual pedestal. It was leaking like a sieve. So what I did was everybody's like, you can do the O-rings, but no. The problem, at least the way I understand it, is from the factory they have that exhaust back pressure valve in the back. You're not going to see it. It's on the back side. So what happens is if I can turn that off, what happens is when you start the truck, you have and then it goes north. That's that valve opening and closing. So what it does is it allows the hot exhaust gases to go through to help heat everything up. The problem is when you heat that up, you cook the O-rings. You cook the O-rings, you have a leak. Now you have a problem. So I went ahead and I did the delete. I did the exhaust EBPV, I think is the fucking term for it. Delete. So it's a new pedestal that doesn't have any of that. And also has, you can see that the exhaust part there is new. So you replace that so it gets rid of that flapper valve that's in there, which causes that to happen. I wish I had a better way of lighting this up so I could point this out. Let me see. So here's what I'm talking about. Right there is your exhaust, right, and that's where the flapper valve is. But that's all deleted. That's free flow now, and in the back there's no cylinder back on the other side there for it. And you also don't see down there, there's no rod for the actuating this. That's all deleted. So this is free flow. Someone said that's good for 40 to 60 degrees drop in your your EGT's exhaust gas temperature. Now, you can't see it here because I got it already bolted up, but I also took this off and I put a wicked wheel on, which is not that hard to do. I think there's a nut for the exhaust wheel. I believe that one was 18 millimeter. So I held it in place with 18 millimeter socket and a breaker bar. And I think this was a 16 millimeter nut for the compressor side and it just comes right loose. You spin it off, you spin a new one on tight, and you call it a day. The only problem is when I took mine apart, somebody was in here already, and the O-ring was missing. They put a gasket seal in there and just bolted it together with and hope for the best. Unfortunately, I never saw that right away. So I've been driving this truck for 8 years like that. So I'm like, you know what, that ain't gonna fly. When I had it apart, I cleaned it all out. I got a reseal kit, which includes this O-ring, your exhaust gasket you're gonna need for that flange in the back there, which I'm gonna go over. And there was something else too. Oh, the O-rings as well but I didn't need that because it came with the kit. Anyway, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try and go over the whole deal. So you see there's your exhaust flange, and there's 4 bolts. You can see the 2 at the top. There's the other one. They're 13 millimeter. Those aren't too bad to get at. They're not bad at all. I'm trying to find where to put this light so I can have light for you guys and not have disasters. And of course it's not working for me. God forbid it would work. We'll see how long that holds. So anyway, now you can't see on the bottom of that flange, but there's 2 15 millimeter nuts. They're studs that come out, and you're not going to get a combination wrench on it. You're not going to get a socket on it. I can't find the wrench, but I took a 15 millimeter Craftsman wrench and I actually cut the open end off. So I only had the box end left. And I think I only cut maybe 3/4 of an inch back from the, no, half-inch back. I'm sorry, half-inch back from the open end of the wrench I cut off. So it just was basically the box end with a stub coming off of it. So I was able to get in there to get those two there. So the top are 13 millimeter, the bottoms are 15. And then what I actually did to get the one, there's a on the other side, the bottom one on this side, I actually took this off first. So I undid my downpipe, and then I took an 8 millimeter 12 point, and I took it's 3 bolts to get this off, and that comes off. And you're going to be able to get to that nut that's on the back side there a whole lot easier. And then once you, well, obviously you have to remove this. You have to remove your air in. You have to remove I removed the exhaust housing there. And then there's 4 10 millimeter bolts that hold the actual pedestal down. So you're gonna, it's one here. And I found the best thing to get them out is use a 1/4 inch drive ratchet. I believe it was a 6-inch extension with a universal with a shallow 10 millimeter. I was able to get in the hard one in the back, and this one, and then the 2 front ones you can use. You can get on with it just straight in there. But I found that worked the best is using a 1/4 inch drive because it gave you a little more clearance to get in there. So for these clamps, I only loosened the top ones with an 8 millimeter. I loosened that with an 8 millimeter, and careful taking that apart, and then this pops out. Same thing here on your clamp. You want to have an 8 millimeter, and then this whole thing will pop off. Like I said, 13. I used a 13 millimeter deep. Went in there straight with a 6-inch extension. Was able to get the top ones on the exhaust flange. Like I said, I had to cut the wrench to get the bottom ones. Took the exhaust off to get to the one on that side. Makes it a whole lot easier. The 4 bolts for the 10 millimeter bolts for the pedestal, and you should be able to get it out. Now, side note, I didn't find this out till just before I did the job. The turbo and pedestal on an O.B.S come out together. On a 99 and a half and newer, like your Super Duties and stuff, the bolts actually come from the top here. They come from the top down. But on O.B.S, they come from the bottom side of the pedestal up into the turbo. So you can't separate both of them. I believe it's only O.B.S that I think it's 90, was it 94 to 97? They're all like that. They come from the bottom of the pedestal and they come up into the core of the turbo. So that has to be taken off. Once you have it apart, it's pretty self-explanatory. There's 4 bolts that hold the turbo to the pedestal when you get it on the bench. I believe they're 10 millimeter, all 4 of them. And then you're going to put your O-rings in. Make sure you lube them. Put any kind of oil, any lightweight oil on that. And then that can be to assemble it, to get that all together, to make sure they don't distort, cut, whatever. And then don't forget on your bottom side, on the intake manifold or the block, whatever, there's 2 O-rings there. Those you want to replace as well. Then you're going to bolt everything together, the turbo and the pedestal, and then you're going to bolt that pedestal down. Make sure your O-rings are in place. Again, lube those with a lightweight oil. And then you shouldn't have a problem. Like I said, I replaced the turbo wheel. So there's a new O-ring that I put in there. So that was, again, 8 millimeter 12-point bolt with that. Your new exhaust housing, which, like I said, I'm anxious to see if it is going to drop my EGT or not. So we'll see how true that is, but that's what I heard, was that supposedly anywhere from 40 to 60 EGT temperature drop just by that housing, because that flapper valve isn't in there, causing a restriction. We'll see. I don't know. You got your downpipe to hook up, and then basically you're good to go. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm having an issue with my PSOM in the cluster. I'm waiting to get that back. When I get that back and that works, I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a drive video with it. And so I did a little painting on her, swapped out the wheels. She's getting there. She ain't perfect, but she's getting there. So we're going to do a drive video. We're going to see what kind of difference, because I also put 373 gears in here as well. For whatever reason, the timing of that, the PSOM, and all that started acting up. So I haven't really had a chance to drive it hard with the new gears. So I figured while I had the cluster out, the truck wasn't able to be driven. I figured I would tear into this, doing the turbo removal and doing the replacing the O-rings and deleting that exhaust valve, the exhaust back pressure valve. Someone's going to crucify me for not saying it the right way, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. So that's kind of the overview. I am going to do, like I said, I'm going to do a driving video. We're going to see how it is. Eventually, we're going to try and get to the tracks. We're going to see how it pulls the trailer. Hopefully, it pulls it a lot better. We'll wait and see. Anyway, I hope that helps. I hope it gives you some insight. It is good. It is a bear of a job. Now, I must say, putting it back together with that whole that housing deleted, not cast in, you have a lot more room to get that back bolt back into the pedestal. So it's a heck of a lot easier putting it back together than just taking it apart and trying to get around that valve and all that other crap. So it will go together easier. And plus, you'll have an idea what you're doing. I didn't know for sure what I was getting myself into. So once I had it apart, I knew what I had to put back together. So when, of course, it's naturally going to go quicker because you know what you're doing then. But anyway, that's it for today. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I'm sure the comments, you guys are going to beat my ass, but whatever. It is what it is. I'm at the point, just don't care. I did the best I could on this. It doesn't leak. That's all I can ask for. So anyway, till next time, watch out for each other. Take care of each other. We'll see you next time right here on Big E's. Bye for now.